Good morning to you. I am Mark Sudduth, and here's what's up in the tropics for Wednesday, the 17th of August, 2022. Things are starting to look a little bit more interesting now in the Atlantic Basin. We do have this area down here in the Western Caribbean that we will be watching very closely. Actually, the tropical wave associated with it is part of what was once 97L, and that strong tropical wave that came off of Africa many, many days ago. I oftentimes mention that if they don't develop out in this area of the main development region, that they can oftentimes come along and develop later on much closer to land, and that is what we are starting to see here. Over the next 5 days, this is the development area, scooting across Central America and then eventually into the western Gulf of Mexico. However, I think that the energy is sitting up over the Caribbean and not necessarily over land right now, and we can see that on the vorticity signature, just a little bit of a weak signature starting to show up now right there in that green. And if that stays offshore more and gets more into the Gulf of Honduras rather than tracking right over land, then we could see this come together a little bit farther to the north and thus potentially being more impactful for southern Texas, something we're going to have to watch very closely over the coming days. Look at this, the Eastern Pacific shut down, and we were saying that once that starts to calm down, the Atlantic Basin should start to perk up, and that is exactly what we're starting to see now, especially in the long-range guidance, which I'll show you in just a moment. Satellite animation this morning, there's the disturbance. Look at that, pretty deep thunderstorm activity, definitely over the water. There's hardly any deep convection at all over land, over Honduras or Nicaragua. It's all out over the water there, the Western Caribbean, and if that persists and we can start to develop more of that low-level vorticity at the lower levels of the atmosphere offshore, then things might really start to change, and this would start to develop more to the north, and again could be more of a threat to Texas, something we're going to have to monitor very, very closely. Meanwhile, off the coast of Africa, a lot more disturbed weather coming off with several strong tropical waves lined up over Africa that will be moving into the Atlantic over the next several days, some of those which could develop. Our system down here in the Caribbean, look at this, very prevalent area of upper level high pressure there, easy to see. In other words, the winds are very favorable for development. There's an upper level low backing away in the Bay of Campeche right now. So this is quite the favorable setup overall for this system if it can start to consolidate and develop some lower level energy or vorticity there, something we can monitor in almost real time with satellite imagery. And we'll certainly be doing that. The National Hurricane Center on top of it, of course. I think the development chances will go up here over the next day or so, and we're going to want to watch this for our friends in northern Mexico and potentially southern Texas. Maybe more rain, and on top of what had already fallen, this could be a flood problem if indeed it comes to pass. So something we're going to want to watch closely. All right, here's the 6ZGFS, the operational. This goes out 168 hours just to show you. No, first of all, there's not much reflection in the GFS with the system in the Caribbean early on. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe the GFS not picking up on the genesis of that system. But as we go out into time, look off the coast of Africa there. Something does try to get going in the main development region. More energy coming off after that. And then even more in the Caribbean Sea after about days 5 and 6 there. And it's getting towards peak time. Anytime after August 20th, we've been talking about it. And here it is starting to come to fruition, at least in the guidance. Now we have to see if it happens in reality. This is not reality. This is a forecast, a numerical weather prediction model, a computer model for short, and that is not the same as reality. However, this is certainly starting to perk up. The operationals are showing this, as well as the ensembles from most of the major model suites, a very active time potentially coming up as we round out the month of August. All right, something to watch for sure. That is it from me for today. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. I am Mark Sudduth. Thanks for tuning in again. This is What's Up in the Tropics. I'll be back with more for you tomorrow morning.